What's going on, guys? I am back with another video. Today we're going to explain what HET means. Sometimes you may be shopping for bearded dragons and you see the word HET, H-E-T. That's actually an abbreviation for heterozygous. Heterozygous basically means that the animal carries a trait but doesn't show it. So in this clutch, the pairing was Stitch. Stitch is a hybrid and he's HET for translucent, Whiplet, and Zero. He doesn't show any of those three traits, but he carries them. That means he could produce those when paired to another animal that carries those same traits. Recessive genes, you can only be HET for recessive genes. You can't be HET for leatherback, dunner, genetic stripe, anything like that. You can't be HET for color either. So if anybody say HET red or anything like that, get away from them because they don't know what they're talking about. But they could be HET for hypo. Hypo is recessive. You could be HET for trans. Trans is recessive. You could be HET for Whiplet, Zero. And there is a line of leatherback that's recessive. Not all leatherback is recessive, but some of them are. Usually it'll be labeled HET recessive or HET recessive leatherback. But again, HET is short for heterozygous, and the animal can carry a trait. The animal can carry a trait, but doesn't look like it physically. So this is a Zero. A Zero, neither one of the parents look like this. They both carry the trait, but don't look like it. They're both HET for it. And this is also a translucent. Neither one of the parents show translucent, but they both carry the trait, so they can produce it. The mother is a leatherback. The leatherback is going to be a codon, so it can be transferred without both parents carrying it. Only one parent needs to carry it. Same with genetic stripe and dunner. Only one parent needs to carry it to show it. And this is both. This is both of them. This is a dunner and genetic stripe. But again, dunner and genetic stripes are only one parent needs to carry it, but this one can possibly and probably be carry Zero. It could possibly carry. It's gonna carry hypo 100% because the mother is a hypo. Both parents carry translucent but don't show it, so this one's gonna be 66% probable HET. And both parents carry, well, one parent carry Whiplet, which is the father. So this would be 50% possible HET Whiplet. It's 100% HET hypo because the mother physically shows it. The father doesn't carry it at all. Both parents carry translucent, so this one's going to be 66% probable HET trans. Both parents carry Zero. So it's going to be 66% probable HET Zero as well. Same with this Zero right here. This Zero doesn't show trans, but he has 50%. He's 100% HET hypo, which every dragon here is going to be 100% HET hypo because the mother shows that visually. If one of the parents show any trait visually that's recessive, all the babies will be HET for it. And again, the recessive genes are hypo, trans, Whiplet, and Zero. And there is a line of leatherbacks that's recessive. But again, not all leatherbacks are recessive. So we're just going to speak about the ones that are recessive every time. And that's hypo, trans, Whiplet, and Zero. So if a dragon shows hypo, trans, Whiplet, or Zero, and is bred to another dragon that doesn't have that trait, all those babies will be carriers of that trait, even if no babies are physically showing that trait in the clutch. Here's another one. This is a genetic stripe. The genetic stripe. These are all from the same clutch, by the way. Again, the clutch is Stitch to Shelby. Stitch is a hybrid. He's HET for trans, Whiplet, Zero, and then Shelby, she's a leatherback dunner genetic stripe, hypo leatherback dunner genetic stripe, who carries translucent and 0. So again, this baby's 100% because 100% het hypo because the mother is a visual carrier. She's not visual for trans, but both parents are, so 66% probable. And I'm gonna say what the probables mean again. Probable and possible. When it's 66%, I say probable because it's more likely than not. That's pretty much 2 out of every 3 dragons gonna carry the gene, but not show it. But there's no way to tell which ones got it or not until you breed them. So that's why it's labeled 66% probable. If one of the parents is a het and the other one isn't, in this case, the father is het with blit, but the mother isn't. So these babies are 50% possible het. That's 1 out of 2. So about half the clutch should carry it. And so if you have 20 babies, about 10 of them will carry it, and the other ones won't. And again, you won't know which ones carry it until you actually breed them out to see. I'll show you. We have 2 trans zeros right here. I sold some of these babies at the show. Did pretty well at the show, like I told you guys in the last video. I may be vending in the Pomona show in January. I was possibly doing Houston, but it doesn't look like that's going to go through. It'll be too much traveling involved and getting the animals out there safely with a 24-hour trip and pretty much driving on my own. But that's 2 translucent zeros. I think it's a Dunner. It's a Dunner one right here. Translucent Dunner 0. If this was a... That's the best. If this was leatherback, that'll be the best thing this parent could have made. And it may possibly carry 0. Genetic stripe as well. But being that the 0 gene takes away all pattern, 0 is called 0 because it has 0 pattern, 0 color. So it may have genetic stripe as well, but you just can't see it because it has 0 pattern. That's a nice genetic stripe right there. But yeah, so the word today I'm explaining is het. Het again is short for heterozygous. Heterozygous basically means that the animal carries a trait and not show it. All these came from the same clutch. It could be price variance in this clutch by a whole lot depending on what the animal is actually showing. Like of course the translucent 0 is going to cost a whole lot more than, let's say, I don't have any just normals in here. I think I wholesale them. But a normal one in there without showing any traits would be 66% probable het trans, 66% probable het 0, 100% het hypo, and 50% possible het with blit. And that one, because it doesn't show any traits, will probably go for like $50 or something like that. With the translucent 0 going around 400. Translucent Dunner 0 probably $450 plus shipping. So the price can vary by a whole lot. Even the sex, if it's just a female. Like when zeros first came out, the males cost more because you could breed one male to a lot of females and make a bunch of heads. Versus having a female, you can only take to one male and then you only have the babies from her. Like you breed one male to say 5 females, and each female give 3 clutches. You produce a whole lot more that way. 100% heads. So you breed it to say a regular 0 to a translucent leatherback Dunner. Translucent leatherback Dunner and hypotrans leatherback Dunner 0, and then you breed it to them, and then you can produce quad hets. That'd be het for 0, trans with hypo, and what else did I say? And some of them are going to be visually Dunner and leatherback because they're codoms. So in my opinion, even though the 0 is the apex of that breeding, for breeding purposes, this dragon right here will be a lot more powerful because you don't breed 0 to 0 to make zeros. You only breed HETs to HETs. And this one, if it proves out to be HET 0, is going to be a whole lot more powerful than the actual visual 0 in this pairing. This one right here is a leatherback. It's a genetic stripe. It's a translucent, and it's 100% het hypo, 66% probable het 0, and then 50% possible het whiplet. But with the 0, you have to breed it to a non-0 to make het, so you make 100% het zeros. If this girl proves out 0, she can make 0. So, in my opinion, this leatherback genetic stripe, I'll take the chance on her than actually buying a 0 if you're going to be looking to produce zeros. She's super nice. Surprised nobody picked her up at the show. But this show out here in Las Vegas is more for people that's like first-time buyers. There's not a lot of breeders that shop there. So it's more like people just looking for color and stuff like that. So that's why I did that wholesale buying. I bought some wholesale because they had more color than what I had. The ones that wasn't visual for like whiplets and zeros. So I bought some little wholesale batch to offer to the people. And they sold very well. Like I thought they would. But next year I'll have more color that I'm producing myself. You guys know I'm working on that red project, yellow project. So I'll be producing a larger variety of everything. As long as everything goes right with the move or changing locations. Hopefully I don't knock too many of the animals off of their rotation as far as breeding, especially the Uromastics. Hopefully I have another good year with those. I bred 3 pairs last year and got three clutches. Some of the eggs went bad in 2 of the clutches, but overall, I hatched Uromastics from 3 different clutches. My Lacerdas, I don't think the move is gonna bother them too much, but I'm still crossing my fingers on those as well. And I'm gonna do a little bit more detailed breeding on them. Like I told you guys in the previous video, when I was breeding them and getting eggs from them, I wasn't really paying attention to them. I was just putting males and females together and watching for the female looking big. This time I'm gonna try to track the days and everything on them to get it down to more of a science on exactly how long it takes them to lay, so I know when to pair them again. Because the Lacerdas do double clutches, and I would like to get I got 6 females. I would like to get all 6 of them to double clutch for me, so I have a total of 12 clutches, and hopefully I can get like at least 6 eggs in each clutch. 10 eggs a clutch will be perfect. That'd be like 120 babies. I can wholesale some, and then I can sell some individual as well. But again, I just wanted to give you guys that little word, explain to it. A lot of people don't know what it is, see it a lot of times. And I was getting out of the show a lot. People ask, what does het mean when they see it on the case? Like I said, the show was more for like people coming in just to see animals, and some people getting their first animals. But it was a lot of people just looking, bringing the kids in to see the animals, which is fine. Next time they may buy, they come in and get their little knowledge and research going. But yeah, hope I explained it well for you guys, and you guys can take something from that and apply it to your purchases in the future. And again, if you have any questions, I'm always open for questions. I am currently going to be working 2 jobs, but whenever I have time, I'll go to my emails, my DMs, and answer questions, also in the comments as well. The comments sometimes get confusing, especially with the YouTube updates. Like sometimes there'll be comments in there that I never see, and I have to go to certain settings to see those comments. So if you want your comment to be seen for sure, you can DM me or send me an email, and I can answer your question to the best of my ability in those platforms. But alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until the next one, you guys have a good one. And I'm just end it on this girl right here. This girl, again, I was supposed to keep this girl, which I may end up still keeping. Look like she might be going paradox or something. Or maybe going into a shed. But alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Until the next video, you guys have a good one.